In this Clash of Clans video, we are going to be teaching you the invincible LavaLoon attack strategy. This is going to be at Town Hall 11, but all of the tips that we will give you are appropriate for Town Hall 9, 10, 11, and 12. Basically, any level whereby you unlock the Lava Hound and you have your queen in order to do the LavaLoon. Mainly we will focus on Town Hall 11, that's where all of the replays are going to be. Obviously you have the Eagle Artillery to contend with, so let's dive into it and teach you exactly how to use the LavaLoon attack strategy. Alrighty guys, let's dive straight into this. I am going to teach you a few different variations of the LavaLoon. The first one being, in my opinion, the strongest, which is Queen Charge into LavaLoon. We are also going to teach you the Hero Dive LavaLoon, the Electron LavaLoon, and pull it all together at the end as well. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my Clash of Clans videos. Now for the Queen Charge, what do you need to do? Well, you've got to create the funnel for your queen to go into the base. That is relevant whether you are doing a hero dive, whether you're doing a traditional kill squad. We created the funnel over to the right with a baby dragon, and the king has funneled the left hand side, meaning our queen can target the central area here. Now, why exactly is a queen charge taken? Notice how just one jump spell is used to access the areas that he wants to, that being the Eagle Artillery. That is probably the main building that you want to get down at Town Hall 11, the enemy queen, the enemy clan castle troops, and we are also going to carve an area of the base out. We're basically getting to the center of the base here, clearing that out, meaning we have pathing of the LavaLoon. They are the key points for this, guys. The only thing that was a little bit tricky was the multi-inferno, which did lock onto our healers. That is why a freeze spell was needed. We're going to initially swarm that with a lot of balloons. We have the slammer in there as well, not needed for the queen charge, and lava hounds in from separate angles. We then have haste spells on the perimeter to power the balloons in, and what that will do is make sure that you are coming in from each and every angle, meaning that you can condense the bulk of the balloons through the center of the base, exactly where you need to, and that is critical for a LavaLoon style attack. We will be sure to show you more about balloon pathing towards the end of the video on the final replay, but the Queen Charge is definitely one of the strongest, especially if you can keep your Archer Queen alive. She can continue to take out defenses as you move through the raid. She can also help with cleanup, which can be an issue with the LavaLoon attack strategy. So if you can easily funnel your queen into an area of the base relatively cheaply, that is what you want to try and do with the Queen Charge. You've obviously got to be confident with it as well, guys. You've got to make sure that the healers stay on your queen. But let's move across to the next version of the LavaLoon. Okay, moving to the second variation, which some people might argue is the strongest. By the way, guys, all of these attacks are by Toxic Rabbits, and if you are interested in joining this clan, be sure to join my Discord server. Maxed out Town Hall 10s and above is exactly what they are recruiting. This is the Suicide Hero or the Hero Dive method. So similarly to the Queen Charge, you've got to set up your funnel for wherever you want your heroes to go. You've got to try and take out an area of the base to help with pathing a little bit, but it's really either pathing or objectives. You can do one or the other, and if you can do both, then it's an absolute bonus. So we use the king to basically power down this left hand side. He's going to get an archer tower there as well, which is helpful, and we've wall breaked this initial layer so that the queen can reach the multi-inferno. That is the primary target. We're taking down a wizard tower, a multi, a few point defense there as well, but also taking out this bottom left hand side. So we are indeed creating pathing for the LavaLoon as well. So with the hero dive, you're either trying to make pathing for the Lalo incredibly easy, or you're trying to take out huge value of the base. If you can combine them both, you are onto a winner. But if you have multi-infernos in the base, they will shred balloons, so try and take them down early. If you can get a stone slammer onto one of them, that is an absolute bonus. Again, if you have to create pathing with the LavaLoon itself, then you've got to be quick with this. So we've got actually one set of balloons coming in the center of the base and another up to the north. Otherwise, what would happen is the balloons here would start to basically split across defenses had we have not got this section at the top in. So whilst you're wiping out these defenses with one set of loons, it does mean that this big group here is basically condensing itself through the center of the base to the Eagle Artillery, getting themselves to the dangerous defenses. And you've got to try and close in from either side. Exactly the same happens here, look, to the top area of the base. Once we get through this area, where are the balloons going to go? Let's say once they get to these two air sweepers, where would the balloons go? They target defenses. There's a good chance that some of them will split to the top, some of them will actually split down to the bottom, and potentially some even come through to this area. It's not always a bad thing getting splits, depending on the defenses. If there's a wizard tower, getting a split with groups of balloons can be good, but you need to control them. So having this group come into this top area means that by the time that the big group gets to the center there's actually nowhere else for them to go but forward through the defenses, and we're actually merging in at that point with the balloons at the top. So a fantastic example there of taking out the defenses with the LavaLoon itself to converge in the middle. So that is exactly what you need to do. A traditional LavaLoon, for example the Queen Charge, where you're actually getting into the middle, you've then got that area around the base where you can control the Lalo a little bit easier. You might not have to be as surgical, but the hero dive method that you've just seen here works incredibly well, just getting a couple of defenses out, helping the pathing a little bit, but then you've got to be quick with it. You've got to have a lot of confidence, I would say, with this one. So I would personally go with more of a heavy kill squad, maybe the Queen Charge. Try with the heavier kill squads first before you then practice with the heavier LavaLoon. If you're new to this strategy, that is. We still have more though, guys. There are more ways of doing the LavaLoon, so let's move to the next one. One of my favorite variations of the strategy is the Electron. It's super fun to do, and on certain bases you can really take advantage of this. Now again, there are numerous ways of doing the Electron as well, but it's essentially a kill squad in itself. You're sending in your Stone Slammer or Battle Blimp, depending on pathing, depending on where you need to get that siege machine to, and then you are cloning an E-Dragon or balloons to wipe out an area of the base. A lot of the time that is going to be the enemy queen and create, again, pathing for the LavaLoon, but you might actually be able to merge this in with the LavaLoon in order to help with the strength of it. Just look at what our king and queen have done. The king has took all of this area down the side out. Our queen has came forward. She is a ranged troop. She is able to reach some of the buildings over here, which basically means we are thinning out the defenses. We can get this blimp in a little bit easier, and we're really targeting this area here, whereby we can get the eagle. Again, that's probably the main defense that you need to get, but there goes the enemy queen as well. Boom! She goes down straight away. The Eagle Artillery is a high HP building, so we're able to take that down alongside the sweepers. And just take a look here, once the E-Drags have finished, I mean, taking out them few expos at the end was really the icing on the cake. We are at 40%. All we have used is some funneling troops and the Electron, and look at this entire area of the base, which is gone. We can now just Lalo down and around easily. We've got the pathing. We don't have to be incredibly surgical. We've got 3 air defense, so we know exactly that the hounds are going to basically move straight through from one to the other. That is the power of the Electron. So it has been used there to take out huge amounts of buildings, but also create pathing. Now, if you just have to take out buildings, you might fall in a situation where you could start the Lalo. Maybe you're wanting to, for example, Electron this area here. You could start the Lalo and then Electron in as your LavaLoon comes around, and you merge it all together. That requires a little bit more skill. It tends not to be more of a kill squad. It might be that you do the hero dive method on one area, then the Electron at another as a secondary kill squad. But just know that that is an option. At this point, the Lava Hounds are basically just moving around the base. Yes, we're being a little bit surgical. We have the odd balloons onto these defenses here just to snipe the outside ones, try and keep the balloons again moving in that nice fashion through the base. You really don't want your balloons coming in and out of the base. It's very inefficient, and you want to try and merge them all together. Notice how with the multi-inferno at the back end as well, a lot of spells committed to that. If your balloons are clumped together and they're getting to a splash damage defense at the back end, you've got to have a plan for that. In this one, we had spells, we had the freeze, we also had the Grand Warden's ability. Try and get the eagle down if you can, presumably as part of your kill squad, but if not, you've got to path to it early on. It will wreck your LavaLoon. I'm just putting that out there, guys. You've got to try and get that eagle. If you can't get it straight away, try and use the Grand Warden's ability to at least absorb one of the fire from the Eagle Artillery. Let's talk about more balloon pathing and pull this all together in the final attack. The final replay for this one, let's pull it all together, and then I'm going to link you the best Town Hall 11 attack strategy video. If you want to see the best strategy for your level, be sure to check out the video I will be linking you to next. Now, I am going to use the hero dive method. It's the one that you've seen the second attack on this video, because I feel like that explains balloon pathing a little bit better, because you've got to be good with it. So again, with the hero dive, you're trying to take out either value or create pathing, or in an ideal world, do both. We're taking a multi-inferno, we're getting the queen, we're taking out this top area of the base. Incredible value that for a hero dive. But look at the rest of the base. Very different from the replay you just seen. Maybe have a quick rewind back to where you saw the L shape around the base. It was very easy to Lalo. This is incredibly difficult. Where will the balloons go? There's so many defenses here. They could move between any of these. So basically, you've got to be quick. In comes the slammer at the top here. We will then be using the Lava Hound up to this area, then the same down to the bottom here to create 3 different channels of troops. What that will do is wipe out the area all individually of one another, meaning we can clump to the middle. And look what's there, the Eagle Artillery. You cannot miss that. You've got to get your troops to the center of the base, and by doing that, we've managed to send a whole stack of balloons straight to the center and sweep through the base from one side to the other. So you've got to be quick with LavaLoon. It is all about momentum, and look at how quickly we get through this base. With all of the haste spells, the more you can create the pathing with your kill squad, the easier of a time you will have with the LavaLoon. But if there's a lot of base there, you've got to get that Lalo moving quickly, as long as you have coverage from the Lava Hound. So do take note as to pathing, how many defenses are in an area. Maybe you'll have to put more balloons there in order to get that area down quicker if there's more defenses there, obviously. Try and work out exactly how long your loons will be in each area, and you know roughly how many you need to commit to move through the base very nicely. If you have any other tips for Clash of Clans players that perhaps I missed in this video, be sure to let people know down in the comments. And if you want to see the best Town Hall 11 attack strategy, I'd recommend watching this video that we did a short while ago, but definitely will help you out. That is going to wrap it up for this one. Until next time, peace out.